look exactly the same as the last video that you just saw, and that's because I'm filming this in the same day. So I am going to be doing, this is obviously my 7th vlog, so this is the 7th day in a row, and I feel like I've pretty much completed everything that I do within a week, and you guys have a pretty good idea of the different things that I do every single day when it comes to reptile keeping. So for the 7th day, I decided to answer all of your guys' questions. I posted on Instagram as well, so I believe I have 72 questions to answer, so that's quite a lot, and I wrote them all down. My hand was like cramping so bad, but I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna answer all these questions, and I hope that you guys are okay with the answers. And then if you have any other questions, go ahead and leave it in the comments section, and then I will answer you. All right, so I'm just gonna be reading from the notebook here, and I don't have my glasses on, so bear with me. So the very first question is, knowing your personality and who you are, what blah 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 what reptile best matches you? I think I've answered this before. I think that I would be a bearded dragon because typically I love to just sit around and eat snacks, and I'm pretty chill, so I'm pretty much exactly the same as a bearded dragon. So number 2 is, what is one reptile you would never own? I would never own a reticulated python, and that is because I am a weakling. There's no way I would ever be able to handle a full-grown retic on my own. It's just not going to happen unless I just go to the gym, which I hate the gym, so it's not going to happen. But I just can't handle one, so it's not going to happen. That would be irresponsible of me to even think about getting one. All right, so number 3, what breeders do you buy your snakes from? So my Brazilian rainbow boa is from a Pet Supplies, which is really random. My corn snake is from BHB Reptiles. And I got my boa constrictor from a breeder at a local reptile show. That's honestly what I would just recommend. It depends on what type of snake you want, but I think it's best to just look for one at a reptile show because then you can meet the breeder, see the other animals, and just get way more information on the animal that you're purchasing. And that goes for all reptiles too, not just snakes. And I got my ball python, so if you're interested in a ball python, I highly recommend Trademark Exotics. He is amazing. He has such high quality, amazing morphs, so definitely check him out if you want a ball python. So number 4, do you prefer bioactive setup over the normal substrate? I think bioactive, no matter what, is always going to be the best, and that's just hands down, bioactive is the best. Would you ever breed rainbow boas? I plan to. I would love to breed Bowie and get some rainbow boa babies. I can't while I'm living here because I don't have the space, but once I have the space, I'm definitely going to be on the lookout for a male, so that way I can make some rainbow babies. Number 6, can you do more vids on your blue tongue skink? I love you. Thank you so much, and yes I can. I love Chancho. The one thing is that like he hates being held, and I don't like forcing that on him. So I don't like to take him out very often, but I can definitely show him more. He's getting so chunky now and I love it. I stare at him and I literally just scream at him every day and say I love him because he's just the cutest little thing. Number 7, thanks for doing this Q&A. How old are you? What are you going to college for? You're welcome. This is so much fun. I love doing Q&As. It's like so easy for me to just sit back and answer some questions. I am going to be 26 in May, which is so weird. I forget how old I am all the time too, which is also weird. Maybe it just means I'm getting old or something. I'm going to college just for a boring business degree, and I just finished my last class, so I should be graduating now, and I am so relieved to be done with that. I can't even tell you. So number 8 is, how long is Bowie? I have never measured Bowie, and Bowie just ate yesterday, so I don't want to take her out. I'm guessing 4 to 5 feet. I really don't, I'm totally guessing. She's definitely long. Like whenever I have her out, I never like just have her on a straight line either. She's always like wrapped around my body. I don't know. I'm guessing 4 to 5 feet. She still has growing to do, and they get 5 to 6 feet. So number 9, can you elaborate more on your Crohn's story? How old were you when you were diagnosed? I was diagnosed when I was 18 years old, and I'm pretty sure I've had it my entire life because I've always had issues. I always had stomach aches all the time. I just always felt sick, and when I was finally diagnosed. I was not expecting it, but it made sense. And I don't really know what else to say about it. It's definitely a daily struggle. It's why I started making these videos, because for me, I'm just sick all the time and I feel like just horrible most of the time. So I just stay home. It's hard for me to like leave the house and do things. So it's really cool for me to just stay home and stay happy by having all of these animals in this room. It keeps me busy, and then to be able to use this creative outlet with YouTube and be able to make videos is just so amazing for me. So I don't really know what else to say. That's pretty much it. I'm just trying my best. There's like not many foods that I can eat at this point, and I'm definitely just sick all the time, which is not fun. But I'm trying my best. Have you ever heard of a, oh Lord, a Varactyl from Star Wars? They are what got me into geckos in the first place. I have no idea what that is. Yeah, I don't really watch Star Wars either. I've watched it before, but I honestly don't even remember any of it. I'm just not really into Star Wars. But I'm gonna have to look into that, especially if it's what got you into geckos, because I'm sure it has to be cool then. Number 11, what are some of your favorite things to do besides spend time with your animals, of course? I love to be outside. So when it's summertime, unless it's winter, then I'm like inside in bed, bundled, and I hibernate, and that's pretty much my life. But when it's summertime and it's nice, I just love to be out in nature. I love to go hiking. Well, not really hiking. See, I don't really look at it as like a physical activity. I kind of just like to go and find a nice spot and just sit and snack, similar to a bearded dragon, but I just love being outside. I love going to conservatories. Anything that just involves nature, I'm all about. I also like film photography. I've totally slacked and I haven't been doing it, but hopefully when it's nice again, I will get back to it and be taking more pictures. What size cage should adult leopard geckos be kept in? How often should they be fed? So I would recommend at least a 20-gallon for an adult. They definitely like to move around and they'll enjoy the space, so you can go larger. You just want to make sure that you provide a lot of hides if you do go with a larger enclosure, just so that way they can thermoregulate properly and feel secure within their enclosure. And then how often should they be fed? I feed mine like every couple of days. It honestly depends on your animal. Not all of them eat all of the time and they eat different amounts. So you just got to keep an eye on your gecko in particular. Number 13, how long will it take Vendetta to be full-sized? And how long do you expect V to be? So usually the males are, I think, 6 to 8 feet full grown. They can get larger than that. But that's what I'm expecting, and I honestly don't know how long it's going to take. I'm assuming it's going to take at least a few years for him to be significantly larger than what he is now. But yeah, I guess we're all going to find out together and see how fast he grows. So number 14, do you have any furry pets? I don't. And I wish that I did. 15, what is your dream job? Do you plan on having a career working with animals? That would be so amazing and so cool, but unfortunately because of my disease, I would not physically be able to do anything that I would like to do. I would like to be outside working with animals. I always wanted to be a zookeeper, but now because of my disease, like, I got my boring business degree because I just need something where I can make money, potentially just work at home and just be able to take care of myself and my animals. And I honestly would prefer to work with animals, but that's why I kind of just make it happen by owning all of these animals myself. So number 16, do you plan on breeding Crusties as a hobby or like a small business? Love you and I love your channel. Thank you so much. And right now it's kind of like a little hobby, but I am selling them, so it is kind of a business. I would like to be selling more in the future as time goes on. I would also like to breed snakes too. What is your favorite part about leopard geckos? By far, my favorite part about leopard geckos is when they stick their cute little face out of their hide and they're just looking at you for food. Oh my God. I can't handle their faces, especially when they're hungry though, that like hungry face. It looks like they love you, but they're really like, please feed me. But I love their faces. They have the cutest faces. What type of reptile would you want next? I don't really have a reptile that I want right now. I feel pretty content with all of the animals that I have, and I'm not really looking to be getting any more. So right now, I just don't know. I'm happy with everyone that I have. So number 19, best place to order reptiles online in Canada. I am not in Canada, so I really have no idea. So if any of you guys have any recommendations, leave it in the comment for this person and help them out. Number 20, what state do you live in? I live in Illinois. 21, did you ever consider getting a black and white tegu? I actually have been thinking about this a lot, and I think one day I definitely would like to get a tegu. I love them. They're just like little puppy dog dragons, and I don't know, because my number one would be a caiman lizard, but that's not going to happen because of the fact that they need like all of the space and swimming space as well. So it's just much easier with a tegu. So I'm leaning towards a tegu. So 22, what is your job? Right now, I'm just finishing up school and I'm really sick, so I can't really like leave the house to be able to maintain a job. I would be calling in sick like every day. So I'm hoping to just get an online job at home, but right now, like YouTube is pretty much all I'm doing right now and taking care of my animals. 23, were you nervous for your first snake when you got it? No, I was just really, really excited. So 24, when did you start liking animals and what is your dream pet? I love you so much. Thank you so much. So I have always loved animals, and people always thought I was weird because like I grew up with my cousins. My cousins always loved having baby dolls, and I always just wanted stuffed animals, and I used to just pretend I was rescuing all of these animals and having a pet shop and just all this stuff. I just have always felt so connected to animals, and I've always loved them. And my dream pet would be a caiman lizard. It's probably not going to happen though, but I love them. So number 25, if you could only have one reptile, what would it be? That is really hard. It's really hard for me. I would have to choose between like a snake or a lizard, but I love my turtles. That's so hard. Why do you do this to me? I can't even answer that. I'm just gonna say dude. Bearded dragon, because he was the first one I got and he's like my child, so I'm just gonna go with that. Oh my god, so I wrote this question so bad. All right, number 26, I believe is supposed to be, do you want any animals that aren't reptiles? But I wrote it down as, do you want any reptiles that aren't reptiles? So anyway, to answer that question, the proper question, I think that you know what? I really like sun canoers. So that's like the one bird, but I'm also kind of terrified of birds because recently they've turned against me, and there's this one macaw that like wants to kill me and just see me go down in flames. So, but I really like sun canoers, and I really, really, really want a dog. Like I need a dog. It has to happen. Number 27, would you get any more reptiles? What would they be? Snakes and lizards? I have no plan. By the way, if someone thinks that this is like haunted or something, they're like, why is your tree moving? And you freaked me out in the comments because I literally thought there was a ghost in my house. It's just me hitting this thing. Okay, anyway, I have no plan on getting more reptiles right now. As I said before, I'm very content with all of the ones that I have, and I don't need to be overdoing it and spreading myself too thin because I'm good right now. Where did you get your blue-tongued skink? So I got him at a reptile show from LLL Reptiles, and I would not recommend them because they get a lot of imported wild-caught animals, and that's exactly what Chancho ended up being, and he had mites because of that, and it's just not something you want to deal with. So if you want a nice healthy animal, I would not recommend buying an animal from them. I've heard like horror stories from them as well. So just save yourself that stress and don't get anything from them. 29 just says reptile racks. Yes, if they're done correctly and the animal still has all of the enrichment that it needs within the enclosure as well as space. 30, what is your favorite thing about keeping reptiles? For me, honestly, it's just observing them and seeing them thrive in captivity. Each one is so unique, and I love watching all of their behaviors and just watching them flourish and knowing that I'm doing a good thing for them and keeping them in a happy situation. That's just everything to me. 31 is, what was your first reptile or animal? My first animal and reptile was my turtle, Bubba. I still have her. She is a sweetheart. So she got me started with all of these animals. 32 is, would you ever consider working with big reptiles like alligators? That would be really cool, for sure. I mean, if I had the proper training, and obviously if I felt well enough to do it, then yeah, that would be really cool. 33 is, how many reptiles are in your home? So right now I have 26 reptiles and amphibians. 34, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I have no idea. I didn't even expect to be doing YouTube. Like, I kind of just take it day by day and just see how things are going, and I never make any set plans, so I guess we'll find out in 5 years because I have no idea. 35, what is your favorite part about owning animals? Again, it's just seeing them all in captivity, watching them thrive, and just seeing them be amazing every single day. 36, how long have you and your boyfriend been together? How did you guys meet? How long have we been together? We have been together, I think it's going to be 6 years this April, which is so weird. That's a really long time. And how did we meet? We were actually just friends in high school, and then we just started dating, and that's pretty much it. 37, favorite large mammal that you wish you could keep, but no, it would not be ethical to? An elephant. I would love an elephant. That is how I would travel around. I would just be on my elephant. They're the cutest things. I love them so much. 38, what made you get into reptiles? I think that it was mainly, I had a brother and he had some reptiles around the house, and I just thought they were so cool and I always wanted to be around them, and I think that's what kind of got me started. 39, how to maintain reptiles' temperature and humidity during the winter. So it's definitely really dry in the winter, so I feel like I have to mist way more often. And with the temperature, it does get way cooler at nighttime, so I basically just use a space heater, and that has been keeping the temperature nice and perfect the way that I need it to. So number 40 is, what is it like to have so many animals? It is very busy, but very rewarding at the same time. So number 41 is, so this is probably a really stupid question, but do axolotls need to be in saltwater or freshwater? I have never owned an axolotl, so I am not an expert on them whatsoever. I do know that they should be in fresh water and not salt water. That could probably really hurt them. I'm pretty sure they need like really healthy, like I believe you have to use like RO1 water with them, and you need to be like treating the water, making sure it's perfect. So definitely do your research on that, because I'm not really sure, and I have never owned one, and I haven't owned one before specifically because I think that that's intimidating, dealing with water like that. So do your research, and I hope you can find out something better than what I just told you. I do know it's not salt water though. Number 42, top 5 dream snakes. All right, well right now I've been obsessed with the black-headed python. They're just so cool, so unique. What else? So boa constrictor has to be on there because I love boa constrictors. They're just like the classic snake to me. So another I would put on the list, I actually really like black mambas. I think that they're really cool, so I'm gonna put them on my list. Another one would have to be, I have to put Brazilian rainbow boa on my list because Bowie is just everything. And then, you know what? Oh, this is so hard. I'm gonna put Amazon tree boas because, but I really like emerald tree boas. I don't know which one to pick. All right, I'll put emerald tree boas. It's so hard. There's so many snakes and they're all so awesome, so I did my best. What made you want to have a big collection of reptiles? I never sat down and just thought, I want a ton of reptiles. It kind of just happened. And once you get one, you just start learning about other ones and seeing them at shows, and then you get more interested in them, and then you just keep getting them and getting them. So that's kind of what happened to me, but you should do it responsibly and not be getting just whatever animals. As long as you can provide the care that they need, then it's acceptable. And do your research, of course. 44, how do you get picky animals to eat? I have a picky African fat tail, and I have tried everything. It is really hard. The number one thing is you have to make sure that your husbandry is on point, the temperatures, the humidity, and then just offer them a lot of varieties of different things. The chances are they're gonna like something. You just gotta find that one something. Can you do a video about brumation? I really don't know much about it because I've never had to deal with it, so that's the only reason I wouldn't do a video on it. I just don't want to be sharing information on something I'm not really aware of. How many beardies do you have? Just one. When did you get your first reptile? In 2010, so 8 years ago. What would you recommend housing a blue tongue skink in? At the minimum, a 4x2x2. Chancho is not in that right now because he's a baby, but eventually he will be upgraded to that. You plan on expanding the reptile room to the rest of the house? Absolutely not. Like, this is the reptile room. I already have the turtles out in the dining room, and we have a roommate, so gotta be courteous. Not a question, but I really liked your everyday life video. Thank you so much. It's nice that you guys enjoy my videos. That makes me feel so good. What made you decide to do videos on reptiles? So my whole YouTube channel started because I was on Instagram and I would post all of my animals, and I constantly kept getting questions about how to take care of the animals. So I thought it would be easier just to make a video going over the care of my animals, so that way if anyone asks me, I can just send them the link and then they can watch it. And I know that there's a lot of people that don't do research and just have animals but don't know how to care for them. So I just wanted to make sure that I was doing a good thing and making sure that people had a place where they can go and find the information that they need in order to take care of their animals. And then from then on, it just kind of took off, and you guys came along and you supported me and you really liked my videos, and it just made me inspired to be able to make more creative content. So it just is a lot of fun for me now, and I'm really enjoying it. So it's basically just thanks to all of you guys. So thank you so much for your support. Number 52, can you give my channel a shout out, please? It's called Me Again. So go check out that channel, guys. 53, what kind of mister do you use? Why did that sound so weird? So this thing. So I have been using this tiny little mister for like years, and it has been the worst thing ever. So I went to Home Depot because Michelle told me about this mister, and I got this huge thing. So I use this. It is massive, and it has this long pole, and it has made my life so much easier. So I highly recommend this thing. It is my baby. 54, do you believe reptiles and amphibians have emotions or just instincts? Honestly, I don't know. I think when it comes to behavior, they're just completely relying on instincts. I like to think that there's more going on behind the scenes in their little brains, but there's no way to prove that. But I know that I personally do feel that way about them, and I love them to pieces no matter what. So number 55, how do you gain attention from people on YouTube? I don't really know, to be honest. It kind of just happened. You just gotta make sure. This is the advice that I give other people that want to make a YouTube channel. Make sure that you are really passionate about what you want to share on YouTube, because that's everything. I've noticed there's a lot of people that kind of make channels and they just kind of focus on themselves, or they don't really have like a point, and that's just not really going to get you anywhere. So you just really have to be passionate. And that's pretty much with anything that you want to do. Just be passionate, and then good things will happen. D6, if someone gave you $10,000 in a reptile expo, what animal would you get? Probably a snow boa constrictor. It's definitely not $10,000, but I'm like obsessed with them. And then I would use the rest of the money just to stock up on things for the rest of my animals. Have you ever considered getting more salamanders or newts? I have not. I'm pretty content with Ponyo, and I'm not really a amphibian person. I do love my frogs. I love Ponyo too, but I personally like animals that I can handle more, and amphibians are very sensitive and they aren't really cool with handling, so it's not really something that I'm like super excited about. I currently can't decide between a crested gecko or a crocodile skink as my first reptile. Do you think an 18 by 18 by 18 would be a good size no matter which I pick? So if this is your first reptile, I would not recommend a crocodile skink because they are very, very sensitive and they require a very high humidity level, and it's just really difficult to take care of. So if it's your first reptile, no matter what, I would recommend the crested gecko over the crocodile skink. They're much easier to take care of. Do crested geckos need insects in their diet? Yes, they do. They need it for protein, and it's also when I dust the calcium D3 that they desperately need. So insects are very important for them. 60, how long have you had Banba? Would you consider getting another chameleon species? I have had Banba he will be 3 this spring, so that's so weird. He's getting old. I would like to get a panther chameleon one day. I really like them. They're gorgeous, so if I were to get another species, it would probably be a panther. If you stayed in a dorm for college, what did you do with your reptiles? I never stayed in a dorm. I was way too sick. I just had to stay home. That's why I think it's important, if you are young, maybe it's important to wait to get reptiles until you're fully established and can fully take care of those animals. If not, then you would just have to find them a new home. I'm not really sure how it goes with taking animals and having them in a dorm, if that's allowed or not. I know some people might allow it, so I don't really know what to tell you. I hope that you can keep yours. So the next one, what's a good substrate for a bioactive enclosure for a bearded dragon? I know nothing about bioactive enclosures for bearded dragons. I have looked into it before and it was really complicated, so I honestly don't even know what to tell you because I have no idea. What is a reptile you want to get in 2019 that you weren't able to, but now you are? I don't think I'm planning on getting any. I'm pretty content with what I have. Would you ever own a venomous snake? Nope. And if so, ever free handle it? Absolutely not, because I would die. It's not happening. Love your videos. Thank you so much. Can large lizards like tegus, iguanas, and beardies get too fat? If so, please suggest a remedy. Yes, they can. You need to be careful watching what you're feeding them. Don't give them too many snacks. Insects can be pretty fattening depending on the species that you're feeding. Another thing is to make sure that they have a lot of space so that way they can exercise. And if you have a tegu or something, you should take it on a walk. They definitely need the exercise. 67, what is your dream pet? Do you have a wish list of reptiles that you would like to add to your family? I do, and it gets longer every day. I understand that feeling. Right now, I don't really have anything just because, like, realistically, I can't fit anything else in this room, and I'm just really comfortable with what I have right now. Do you want more corn snakes or ball pythons in the future? And if so, which morphs? I really enjoy your channel. Thank you so much. So I can understand why ball pythons are so addicting. Right now I'm not planning on getting any, but there are so many morphs that I love. I love the blue-eyed Lucies so much, and I really like clowns as well. When it comes to corn snakes, I love the lavenders so much and the plasmas, so maybe I'll end up with more in the future, but I don't have a plan right now. 69, do you believe pet tubers need an abundance of pets to remain relevant or entertaining? Absolutely not. So unnecessary. I think that you could just have one animal and you have so much to do. You don't even have to own any animals to have a YouTube channel and be successful, because I think it's really cool. There are so many things that you could do. You can volunteer and go out places and work with animals. You can show facilities, show pet stores. You have access to finding animals all around the place. You don't have to be actually owning them in order to do that. So I think that's really important. Don't overdo it. No one should be taking in animals that they can't really take care of. If you're not ready to right now, but you want a YouTube channel, there are so many other opportunities out there where you can work with animals and include them in your channel without having to own them. So number 70, is there any species of reptile that you own or have owned that you would never want to get again? If so, why? I don't think so. I love them all. I don't think I've had one that I just really don't like. We are almost done, guys. Oh my God. I'm like losing my voice from talking so much. All right, so 71. I adore you. Thank you so much. That's so sweet. I'm adding to my reptile family soon. Do you have a favorite morph of leopard gecko? What are your staple insects for leopard geckos? All right, so my favorite morph for a leopard gecko, I'm not familiar with the names whatsoever. I really love the like pinkish ones, pink and yellow. I just love that color combination. And then the staple insects that I feed are gut-loaded crickets, dubias, superworms, and hornworms. And this is the very last question. So would you get any one of these animals? A western hognose? Yes, they're so cute. I love their faces. White's tree frog? Absolutely. I miss my hippo so much, and I've been thinking about getting a new one recently. My boyfriend really wants one, so it might happen, but I have no plans of this whatsoever. A milk snake? You know what? I'm not really into milk snakes. My friend Caitlin really is, so I feel like I get to enjoy it through her, but I don't really plan on getting any of my own. So that is all 72 of the questions. Thank you everyone who asked a question, and thank you all so much for watching all of these videos all week. I hope you enjoyed this 7-day vlog. It was a great way for me to be able to show what it's like to keep reptiles, because I can't just do a one like daily routine video because every day is so different, and you can really see that through this vlog. So I'm open to doing more things like this in the future. I'm so glad I was able to do this for those of you that asked me to do it. And I hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you so much for your continued support. I love you all so much. And I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video.